Welcome friends to my video of the DJI Power 500 portable power station unboxing and review. So I'm going to tell you the reasons why I bought it. So because this is an unboxing, I think very important information is on the box. Right off the bat, I haven't opened up the box yet. Here is the stuff that it talks about, the inputs and the outputs. Inside we have a 24 volt battery, a 25.6 nominal value battery of 512 hours, and that's a 20 amp hour battery, and a USB-C input. So apparently it could be charged up to 100 amps max from USB-C. It can be charged up to 10 amps maybe via your wall outlet. And SDC light input, we have to figure out what that means, is that minimum input voltage is 22.4 to 29.2, 10 amps max. We're gonna have to look inside the box. What I like is that this UL logo is that you don't see this on many power stations. And here's this guy if you wanna scan it for yourself with your phone. What else? This charge is minus 10 to 45. Charge temperature is 0 to 45 Celsius. SDC light output is 240 watts. USB-C, it could do 100 watts max, probably per input, which is nice. And now let's get this guy opened up. Okay, so let's see this guy. Yeah. So you get an AC power cord. You get DJI stickers. You get this quick start guide. Doesn't really give you much except this stuff. Scan the QR code for extended warranty service things. And this is some sort of safety sheet. Like all pretty much unnecessary things. What we're trying to do is actually get this power station opened up. So what I liked about this power station is I don't believe I saw any stupid Bluetooth functionality. So all you guys that use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on your stuff, I think you are being exposed to extra EMF waves, which you don't really need. And these guys made a power station without extra EMF waves. So this is why I would never get an EcoFlow. There's no stupid, what are those things called? Turn it on. Let's see what we have here. It's charged up to 44%. Now let's get the sticker off. Peeling. That looks fantastic. So we have two 100 watt power delivery ports. And we have two ports that are 24 watt max for the charging. So the charging port, let's see what the charging port. So you could actually change between 270 and 540 charging. That is really cool. I like this switch. That is awesome. So based on what I saw on the listing over here, is that this unit could actually do up to 1,000 watts on the AC. That's cool. Oh, and that's one of the things that sold me on it. So I guess this is what it shows remaining time with the power inverter on. And one of the things that sold me on it is I think it doesn't make much noise when it's powering stuff and charging up. So let's see what we have here. DJI Power 500. Stuff we saw in the box. AC input, 10 amps max. SDC input, okay. So we're gonna have to start testing this guy out. So one of the things that might be lackluster about this unit is they didn't include any other accessories. Where is the charging port for the... So it sounds like you could actually charge this off USB power delivery. Let's see. Let's pull this off the iPad and connect this guy. Will it charge? Maybe I'm supposed to get another cable. So we now know you could do 540 watt charging on it or 270 amp. And I believe this SDC light is the charging port. However, did they even include that cable? They didn't include this cable. So apparently now I need an SDC light connector, this kind of connector, in order to charge it. Not much in the manual, guys. So let's see. Okay. So now let's just plug it in and see how it charges off the AC. The cord is nice and thick and high quality. And we shall see. Okay. What kind of noise does it make being charged up? Okay. Plugged it in. And now it's set to charge at 540. And it should charge up. So it's slowly going up. It's not just directly jumping up. And I guess it's starting up at that. Can I change this in the middle? Oh, I think it's set to 275. Now let's do 540. Now it's going up. What I like about this unit so far is that it doesn't, there's no crazy fan running to charge it up. I like that it charges off the AC very quickly. And apparently I'm going to need this SDC light input thing in order to connect some solar panels to it. Is this an MPPT controller? I'm not even sure. Apparently you need between 22 and 29 volts to charge it. And maybe you could actually charge it from the USB-C port. So if it does 100 watt input USB-C port, that's kind of awesome. So it looks like it's charging at 425 watts thus far, just connecting it. Maybe it will keep going up. We shall see. Now, I'm going to leave this charging for a minute, and we're going to try charging this guy up with USB-C. So far, I'm actually impressed that there's no crazy noise that it's making. And I'm probably going to want to check if there is an SDC light connector I need to buy. So I wish that was included. So DJI, you get a -1 for not including an SDC light connector to like something else adapter. And is there an MPPT? Apparently you could do up to 300 watts of solar. However, without an adapter included, like, what are you guys doing? You know, every other company does include an adapter. Although, maybe what they did was they just made the build quality really nice. I like this easy to carry handle. And at 500 watts, it being able to do a kilowatt of power output, that's kind of nice. There's probably coffee makers or other things that could actually run from that kind of power. So now let's see USB-C charging. Okay, friends. So let's see how this guy gets powered up from USB-C power. Will it work with USB-C connected power? This is one of the reasons I'm also making this video, is that, so I took a comparable power station. This is an OUKITEL 600 watt unit. It has like a 500 or 600 watt inverter here, and it has like a 60 watt power delivery, and it has a cigarette plug lighter. This over here can do up to 100 watts from this type C port that plugs into the cigarette plug over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to test first with 60 watt power delivery from this unit how it handles 60 watt power delivery input. Will it work? Okay, so a 60 watt power delivery does not work. You need at least a 100 watt guy. So now let's unplug this guy and plug it into the 100 watt power delivery. Okay, so that's cool. This guy is USB-C rechargeable at 91 watts, apparently. Or it could be also rechargeable at like 400 something. Now, let's see what happens if we connect the USB-C and an AC cord together. Now it resets. And let's quickly see SDC light connector. So now it's only taking the wattage from this connector because it was doing 424 before with just the AC plugged in. Now if we unplug this guy, it jumps down up to 91. So SDC light connector. So all right guys, so if you want to charge this up, so you need one of these guys, apparently. SDC, that's a special port that these guys make. SDC connector to, I have Anderson solar panels. So if I understand it correctly, you need minimum voltage of 22 volts for, okay, so we need SDC. SDC to XT60 cable. Okay, we could always adapt that. So I guess that's one of the things that they do is they bend you over the barrel to get an unstandard port in order to do that. It can be achieved 12 volt DC output suitable for connecting to devices, blah, blah, blah. So compatible with DJI. I wish I would have knew that it wasn't included because I would have just bought it right away. Now I'm going to have to wait. So far, so good. It says it could do up to 300 watts via this connector. So until I get this connector, I can't test this input. And I can't connect, I got to connect some solar panels to it. So I do like that it does charge from USB-C, and while charging, it's not making any noise. What this unit possibly is missing is, first of all, a cigarette plug connector like this. However, most of the time, like for the cigarette plug, I plug in this guy that gives me a USB-C port that's 100 watts, not just 60 watts. That's the bottom one over here. So this is more useful. I'll give them to that with two 100 watt connectors over here. That's fine. It is missing these 12 volt barrel plugs. However, I think you can connect to this SDC connector and adapt it from here in order to do that. However, if you're using this connector for charging, as we saw in the box, it could do up to 300 watts input. SDC light output is 9 to 27 volts, 240 watts max. Why is it 9 to 27 volts? I don't understand. SDC light input is 22.4 to 29.2 volts, or 10 amps max, 300 watts max. So if it's 300 watts max and at 10 amps at 29.2, that means we're actually, look, I can't really tell you anything about this port until I get a connector to it. So I'm glad I'm making this video. I bought this with my own money, so I do appreciate the thumbs up, the like, and the subscribe. And if you were looking at this power station, click my link below to look at it or buy any other item, and I will get a kickback if you bought something, which is fine and doesn't cost you anything. So far, so good. What is the net positive with this unit is that the 500 watt input over here and the 92 watt charge. So at 90 watts, 520, so that's about 6 hours it could be charged off your USB-C thing. So when you're traveling, you would probably plug this into your cigarette lighter in your car and charge this at 92 watts. no problem. And then when you came to your campsite, just connect this and make your coffee or whatever it is that can handle it. So these are both 92 watts output. Let's see if this port is also a chargeable input. Okay, so next, let's see if we could connect two charging bricks to it. If we connect two USB-C's inputs into it, will it give me 180 watts charging? That's making it more interesting. So now I just brought another power station into the mix and connected another USB-C cable with 100 watt power delivery. Let's see what it does when you put two of them in. Will it do more? Okay, so it will do double the DC charge at 187 watts via two USB-C ports. So perhaps maybe the challenge here and the opportunity, whatever you want to look at it, is that if it's getting the 187 watts input, you can't use this USB-C port. So perhaps you'll be using these power adapters over here. You would be using these power adapters over here in order to, power your other devices. So simultaneous charging and discharging maybe is not incorrect. So my first criticism about this unit is, what's up with this SDC connector? I thought there would be kind of like an input to plug in solar panels, an MPPT connector. Is this an MPPT connector? So on the box it says it's 22 to 29 volts. Is it really true 22 to 29? Is it MPPT? It doesn't say MPPT anywhere. Is the only charging ability via these inputs, or you could charge via this too? Apparently it says in the box it could be charged with that. However, apparently they sell a version of this one that says, oh, includes a SDC connector. How would I know that it doesn't have the connector included in the box to charge it up fine? I know I bought it at a discount. I was on slickdeals.com and this guy was coming up, so I was like, you know what, I'll do it. This whole thing is plastic housing, unlike this OUKITEL, which you can't buy anymore. I don't think it's available. It's actually kind of nicer. It's slimmer. It has also that lengthy thing, so it's the same length down, but it's actually slimmer. The minus on it is that it has this input of maximum 80 watts. So this one beats it hands down via that 180 watt input, and it also beats it hands down with the 540 watt charge ability. So what I'm looking at, who is this for? This is for a person that is going to charge it probably from the AC wall at 540 watts in like whatever 18 minutes or something. However, look at this one. Look how much more ports it has. It has these. It has the cigarette plug. So for travel wise, I would actually prefer this. And if I wanted to charge something, I could get an adapter that's DC 20 volts that has a power delivery, and I could charge this one up at the 80 watts. Like, let's say you have only one cigarette plug in your car anyway, so might as well plug this in and charge at 80 watts. And you have all these other things. You have the 5521. This is a 5525. You have all these USB-C ports. The inverter on this one is better because it has a kilowatt. I do like that this port over here gets powered on right away. I like that it's not making noise while charging, because the other one I plugged in to charge, I have another power station. It has these big loud fans while charging. It's taking 103 to get So to get 95 into the thing, I guess there's 10 watts being lost through the conversion of this guy to charge it at 95 watts. So maybe it is getting 100 watts in, maybe it's like in between. 95 is going into the station. I do like the screen better, that's kind of nice. I do like that it has these things showing up. I do like that it doesn't have any extra Bluetooth and wireless and Wi-Fi and all this other bull crap that I don't want. So perhaps, like, who is this for? This is for a person that just uses USB-C mostly. I mean, they do have lights that you could just plug in right into the USB-C port. And then you could probably use this to adapt to things. However, this is a non-standard adapter. This is my biggest criticism. They could have just used an XT60 connector or an XT90 for at least the input of the solar panels. I mean, you're advertising it that it has up to 300 watts of solar. But how do you have 300 watts of solar if the maximum input is a 29.2? If it's the 29.2, you put the maximum input of that, you're only getting 29.2 times 10 amps, you're getting only 290 watts. That's false advertising, like if you've seen one, because the math doesn't add up. So can you actually use more than that? I do like that it has fast charging. I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I mean, it would have been cool if this one had like fast charging on this one, and this one would beat it hands down because it just has more ports. It just has more standard USB-C ports. However, these faster ports for charging your phone, so charging your phone and drone, which you would be doing off USB-C, this might be ideal. I mean, charge your iPad at 30 watts, charge your drone, let's say at 100 watts, and then two phones at 18 watts each or 24 watts. That's awesome. Yeah, I like the little miniature handle on it. I like the carryability of the unit. This is my biggest gripe. They could have done something to have more ports. You need these 5521 ports, and you need a cigarette plug port. Why don't you guys have that? I mean, you have a heated blanket, you will plug it into that. You have, let's say, an electric pump that's for a 12 volt. You would just plug it into this. Okay. So next, I'm going to have to order, I guess, the adapter, or maybe I'll conclude my review not even having connected solar panels because, I mean, how do you even use this XT60 connector? So if I understand it correctly, this XT60 connector, because of these 4 pins, might give you either 12 volt output or 24 volt, and you could adapt it to that. You could actually, there's for the wire for $22, can change this into a cigarette plug port, which was kind of included in this one out of the bat, which is opportunities missed left and right. I mean, you guys could have put some ports on the back, at least for the charging. This guy has a smaller front face. You don't have to make such a big screen. I mean, input, output. I can see the output here. I can see the. Do I really need this 52% to be like this big? You could have put a whole bunch more ports. In the factory, that's much easier to do. And now the person has to carry around dongles. So we have the Apple dilemma. The device might be slimmer, but then you have 12 different dongles in order to have a USB-C port, and then you have to carry different cables and all that other stuff. And then if you're converting this guy to a cigarette style plug port, then you're not. Then you are not using it for charging. So you will be charging off the AC. So it's kind of like hits and misses. I do like the 2 USB-C ports. Now, it is okay. I do like that it can have up to 300 watts input, but what does that really mean? You can't have 300 watts. 29.2 times 10 amps. There's a hard limit at 280, 290 watts. What is going on there? Why is there this false advertising? Just like you, I'm kind of like, hey, this is kind of interesting. So this is like 10-15 minutes later. The power that it's connecting from a single USB-C port, it dropped down to 63 watts. So you see 65 watts output on here, 63 watts over here. This guy has all the information in this beautiful little bar graph that says 90% here, charged up, how many hours remaining, and over here, how many hours to charge is like so tiny, and you made the 58% so big. Anyways, not to be nitpicky, so I found out the game that these guys are actually playing. You see over here for this $60, for $60, oh, there's only 3 left. You better get one because otherwise you won't be able to charge it off the solar panels. You get the ability to charge with MPPT. And up to only 400 watts. 400 watts, but for this one only 300 watts. So voltage, so it's doing 22.4 volts. So output wattage is 200 watts? How does that work? How is this 300 watts? So originally, friends, I got this unit because it promised 300 watts of solar input. You see 512 watt hour, and it says 300 solar charging, 300 watt max input. It didn't say over here 300 watt max input if you use our $58 MPPT charge controller. This listing makes it seem and makes you understand, because every other power station that I know of has an MPPT controller. And this one has 300 watt max input, and there's a little 8. What does the 8 mean? So 4 charging methods. You could do USB-C ports. You could do dual USB-C ports. It has an LFP cell. And where's this 8? Where's the content creation? Certification? Can I click it? See, it doesn't say in one solar charging, 1.8 hours. Okay. Okay. Example of false advertising. I buy this thinking that I'm going to show you, friends, how I connected this unit with two 200 watt solar panels and I was getting it charged up at 300 watts. But what do I get? I get the frustration of going and seeing that I have to buy a 60 watt adapter, like $60 adapter, to connect it to this port. And now that I'm connecting this adapter to this port, I have an extra dongle sticking out of it. And this is the situation we have with MacBooks. You can't put a regular USB-A port on there, so everything is USB-C port. Now you have to put a dongle on it to connect a regular mouse, because most of the time they don't make USB-C mouse. Oh, you could use their wireless mouse. Okay, whatever. I want to use my mouse the way I like my mouse. So how do you not put it in here? How do you not put this in the listing? And then it says they're number 8. So where does number 8 lead to? I'm trying to see on this listing. Where is number 8? Like, you know, you're saying, okay, camping, road trips, hardware lodges, BMS certification. Okay, so where is this solar power? 4 charging methods. Let's see. Solar charging, 300 watts. So 1.8 hours. Where is this number 8? Maybe number 8 is on their website. Maybe I have to go to their website from the Amazon listing. How come there's no link to their website from the Amazon listing? What is going on here? How do you like put false advertising on there? And then you look at the box. You have to look at the SDI connector. SDI light input is 22.4 to 29.2. Why is that a problem? Well, most solar panels, they actually operate at between 18 and 20 volts. The best ones probably operate between 18 and 24. So this one, I can connect this to literally to my 12 volt, like a 12 or a 13 volt. This one has a range probably from like anywhere from 10 or 12 volts all the way up to 24 volts. So this one has an input of 10 to 24 volts. This one has a minimum input for the SDI light input of 22.4 to 29.2. So if you look at their little adapter, it gives you this 22.4 volts. So it looks like that's giving the minimum input of 22.4. So why is this inconvenient? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you can't, like this one, I could just literally plug into the cigarette port lighter and it might charge slower than via USB-C. This one I could get full 80 watts output with like a 18 watt power supply, 20 watt power supply. This is 20 volts going into this one via USB-C. So, wow, okay. And then if we look at the listing, so it's, let's say it's the $380 price. Let's say it's $500 minus 120. Okay, so we got 380. So we got 380 plus 60 for this cable. We got 440 for a 600 watt power, for 512 watt. This one is 600 watts. I think this one was around 300 or something a while back. I don't know how much it is now. They probably have a newer unit that probably functions much better. This one I've had for years, and like I use it around the house. This one's great for lighting. It has all these inputs. It has every input I need. It has a cigarette plug port. It has a regular MPPT controller built in. So it's like these guys decided to, hey, we're going to reinvent this. All our guys need is a USB-C charger for our drone. So if you guys are making drones, might as well stick to making drones. Like, don't advertise that you could do 300 watts of solar panel if you don't have an MPPT controller in there. It can't charge without an MPPT controller. And you can't connect it to a 60 watt solar input. So there's some solar panels that have a USB-C output. So I can't charge it off a regular 60 watt output. Like this 60 watt doesn't work. Okay. So who is this for? This is for fan people. I just, like, if you look at the reviews on the charge controller, look at the 5-star ratings. Works with a 210 watt panel. This guy's like, oh, I don't have any knowledge about stuff. Okay, must have if you want to charge your DJI power. Yeah, it's like, how do you make a power station? How do you advertise 300 watt solar input? Oh, you have to press number 8. Where is number 8? How am I supposed to read this? 300 watt max input. Okay, that makes sense. You're not giving me VOCs, voltage open circuit. You're not showing me, oh, there's an MPPT port. That's assumed that there's an MPPT because everybody else does have it. I'm right now at this point, I'm ranting. I'm just completely dumbfounded how they forgot to put in half of the stuff in there. Okay, so DJI. Here's a product improvement that everybody else had forever. Okay, 1 port, 2 port, 3 port. Put it here somewhere. Make the screen a little smaller, or move the USB-C ports like 1, 2, 3, 4 ports, like all the USB-C ports there, and then you have all the space open up. And now you could put in an MPPT charge controller, or maybe 2 charge controllers, make it kind of like charge up nice. So now that you could actually power your solar drone off solar. No, you're going to be plugging it into some sort of adapter, and then you have to use some sort of proprietary adapter. Everybody uses XT60, XT90, Anderson. Use a standard connector. Solar panels don't have this connector. And now it's like kind of like, oh, this is a high output connector, and then you could use this to turn into a cigarette lighter plug. Why are you making it so complicated? And why do I need to see this 60% so much bigger. Isn't this much nicer? I'm like seeing 88%. I'm seeing 6.9 hours. I'm seeing the watt output. I mean, everything is much more clear and understandable in this one. This OUKITEL, that's cheaper. It has everything put in here. Everything is all in one. And it's like a head-to-head, like size-wise. Yeah, this one has smaller inverter. This one has a bigger inverter. But do you really need 1,000 watts on a travel 500 watt unit? Not really. 600 watts is more than enough. Like, for example, a laptop charger, best gaming laptop, maybe 200 watts, 300 watts. So you could connect two laptops, no problem. Or you could connect a charger, a dual charger that's going to be 120, like the best ones, 120, 260 watts. So you could connect your laptop, your gaming laptop, and you can connect that. And then, at least with this, I could put also 80 watts input of the charge. And I can connect a solar panel to this. And I can't connect a solar panel to that. I mean, why? How? Oh, car charging. Why does it look like solar charging? You see, it says it has this guy solar charging, but it doesn't show you. It doesn't come with this box. It has what does number 8 mean? Oh, this little box is not included. It's $58. Is that what the number 8 is? Where is number 8 on the page? I don't see number 8 on the page whatsoever. I mean, I do like that it's UL listed. That's nice. You have all these certificates. Oh, authorities. I need some authority. I need some authority. 4,000 cycles. I mean, that's a given for lithium iron phosphate. Life PO4. That's fantastic. Ooh, precision internal hardware. Fantastic. You don't have a stupid MPPT controller in there. How can you say it's precision hardware? Oh, there's a battery management system. They have this on batteries. You could just buy a 12-volt battery and have a better time with that. Because you could buy a 12-volt battery, a separate MPPT controller because you're buying an MPPT controller anyway, and a nice Victron. You could buy MPPT controller, a 20-amp one, for $73. I think that's with tax. $73 with tax, maybe 80 total. Okay, 80 bucks. You spend a little more. You get a battery, and now you have all the ports you want. You can charge everything you want, and you're not limited to this 63 watt input. Are you kidding me? This is going to take forever. Now that's going to take 10 hours. This guy, through this barrel jack, it gets 80 watts input when I use like a 20 volt connection to it. So like if I'm doing 20, 24 volts, or if I'm doing it via USB-C, it's taking 80 watts. So how does an older unit by a different company do a better charging job? You explain to me this, like DJI, I mean, oh, you have a drone. Wow, that's great. And then this thing runs out first thing. You're already driving around the drone. You already have a truck. What about your solar panels? Oh, it's not showing the solar panels. Okay. So why does it show the solar panels connected? I mean, why don't I see why is this not included in the box? It's in the picture. Like, so, like regular customer, just like everybody else, I'm like, oh, has a little box. Oh, this is kind of convenient. I can connect 3 panels and in parallel. That's fantastic. One solar panel equals an extra 600 watt hours. How does that work? Max input. Where is this number 8? Like, why isn't this stuff included? This information is not included anywhere. This is just really. And then let's see the reviews. Let's see the reviews of the fanboys. Wow, 79%. Obvious fanboys. Excellent powers. Okay, great. So did you get the one with did you get the $60 power supply adapter thing? No, you didn't. Once your power outage is over, once it runs out of the power, you're done. Look at these reviews. Reliable and handy to use. Did they pay for this? I mean, it might be a verified purchase. It might be somebody with the DJI drone, okay? Whether an emergency or this sounds like the same freaking spiel that they're saying. But come on, guys. Like, there's no MPPT, but so, all right. I'm done ranting. DJI, friends, What are you doing? This is plastic. And then for those out there, fine. I may not like Bluetooth. I may not like Wi-Fi on my power station because I don't want somebody remotely connecting to my power station with an app and being able to turn off a CPAP machine or some other like refrigerator playing a prank on me. Like, I just don't believe in the wireless because that's an extra insecure point. Like, for example, on Victron solar charge controllers with the Bluetooth, the standard passcode is 5 zeros. If somebody knows the standard passcode, they could set the charge controller to put a wrong charge onto your battery or stop the charging like completely. Oh, I just played a prank, and then nobody would know with the prank, but then you have a problem. So it's like, okay, fine, you didn't put the Bluetooth. So for those guys that like the Bluetooth, you guys are missing that. No MPPT controller. Proprietary import. You're not Apple. DJI. Okay. Everybody criticizes Apple for taking away their ports. Their professional MacBook Pros used to have USB-A, FireWire, blah, 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 every other port that you need to have a full computer experience. Then they're like, oh, these guys don't need all those ports. We could just put a dongle. That's great. I'm really happy. Look, this USB-C port is connected to a dongle that has Ethernet connector cable to it with power delivery. So this one cable is giving my iPad internet and electrical without the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all those other signals that I don't need to have on to just browse the internet while it's charging up. So I actually like that. That's nice. You know, that works. However, this is a portable power station. You're advertising 300 watts input solar maximum, and then the number 8, you can't read more about it. And then I have to buy a 60-watt connector, which makes it look like it should have said this MPPT box is sold separately. This other connector is sold separately. How come there's only one here? How come you couldn't put 2 or 3 in here? Why not? How come you just not have one MPPT charge controller that has a wide variety? So this is a big criticism of units like this. This maximum voltage input is 24 volts. If you put 2 panels in series, you might get like 45, 50 volts. So if you would have put one MPPT controller that said voltage input between 10 volts up to 60 volts. So this way you would be able to connect any power supply or 2 solar panels in series and get maximum charging ability from that MPPT. No, opportunity missed. You guys could have been like, hey, we're the best. We could have forgiven you for not having these ports. We could have forgiven you for making life more complicated. We could have even forgiven you for... No, this is unforgivable. This cable, this input. Oh, like to me it looked like, oh, that's a cool power input. I mean, I do like that it charges at 540 watts. It's fantastic. However, EcoFlow little units with their Bluetooth, with their Wi-Fi's, with all their stuff, charge at that speed or higher. And they have an MPPT charge controller built into it. They're not charging you extra. Like DJI, who do you think you are? You're advertising on your site solar panels. You should have also said solar panel not included. And the car is not included either. I understand there's no camera included. But when you're advertising solar charging and you have it connected to some little box that you would think is inside the stupid box. Okay, so if I could give this 1 star, I mean, I'm gonna give this unit 1 star out of 5. This is not a power station. This is a giant false advertisement that is taking the brand recognition of people that like the drones, people that are uninformed about voltages, people that are uninformed that you could actually connect solar panels to a power station with built-in MPPT controllers, and then with all these dongles. I mean, you have so much stuff on your mind. You got to charge a solar, like regular power station. You just plug in the solar panel in the port, and it's charging. There's no complication. There's no dongle with the triple things. And why would you want to connect even 3 solar panels? Fine, that's fantastic. That could have been an additional accessory. Oh, DJI, now you can parallel 3 solar panels. Meanwhile, you could buy a regular standard cable that takes 3 XT60s into one, or 3 MC4s into one. They have parallel cables all over the internet. No, let's use a non-standard thing so that our fans pay $58. I do have a DJI drone. Maybe I'll have the same criticism of it. However, I just know my power stations. I have dozens of them. Maybe not dozens. Let's just say that's a little bit. So there's 1, 2, I have 3 of these units. I have another one that's a 600 watt hour that has 200 watts input. I have another 2 kilowatt power stations, OUKITELs. OUKITEL, what I like about OUKITELs is that they don't have the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi, which nobody needs. However, they do have the MPPT controller, MPPT. And they have ports you could use. They have like the 60 watt port. I mean, that would still like charge a MacBook, probably not as fast. But then I could always expand it with this. I could also put a heating blanket. Isn't it nice in a car if you could just sit with a heating blanket so you wouldn't have to have your car idling to stay warm in a cold car? Let's say you got stuck in a blizzard. You could save the gas for other things. No, let's just make this chargeable for drones only. And then if you're using the USB-C ports to just charge only, you're like, shit, I mean, out of luck with the charging ability. Whew. So 1 star on this unit. This is probably the lowest I could ever give a power station. And DJI, please stop this. I mean, in the great words of Michael Jordan, get some help. Like, this is just a plea. Just, you guys make great drones, like with like wireless controller and like the headset controller, all those cool things. But then when you come into this, you're not Apple. Apple could get away with it because they're making computers. They're making a lifestyle statement. And those you would always charge from one USB-C port. They figured, oh, you could just connect the dongle to it. Great. But my Apple has 2 USB-C ports. I could charge off one and maybe connect a mouse or a dongle to the second one. Fantastic. But this is a power station. You're advertising solar charge. There is no solar charge. So this is going back to them. And I guess, like, I mean, I got complete false advertisement right here. I got everything documented right here, right on their listing. They want me to buy $58. Maybe I would have bought it right away in this way. I could have made a wholesome review. Oh, here's how you can connect the solar panels and it works and all that other stuff. Hey guys, this is not gonna work with us. We deserve more. I mean, I do like the carry handle. That's great. I think they copied the carry handle from EcoFlow. They simplified. I mean, they made it quiet. 200 watt charging ports. I mean, that's great. This guy could have learned from it. 200 watt. But this one's like probably 4 or 5 years old. So why are we making the power stations worse over time? So, all right, friends, thumbs up the video, subscribe, check out the links below. I guess I'll give you a link to the company that I do trust and appreciate, the OUKITEL. Yes, I've had some units that I needed replaced, but they replaced them very nicely within the warranty period. So they have good customer service. And overall, I mean, this guy, DJI, 63 watts charging, slower than an older unit. I mean, if I doubled it up, maybe 2 USB-C ports, I could charge at 120, maybe. Let's see, 120. Will it do 120 or do 150? Let's have some bets. Wow, dual USB-C fast charging. Wow. 155. Okay. So 75 watts each. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. I wish you a great day. And keep on keeping on. And yeah, God bless. Bye.